My name is Sean McAllister. I'm the director of the Liberace of Baghdad. And this
In
is
months
Samuel
before the
Beaton.
Arab
I'd like to thank Diane and the Sundance Film Festival for inviting us here.
I'm apprehensive at the first American screening. My film shows the harsh realities of life in Iraq, and the audience here might see me as anti-American.
Museum at the moment. Riveting stuff.
The government will
I think there's always challenges for documentary. The term documentary in cinema is one challenge because, you know, how do you get the audience to the cinema? This is what we're all the time struggling with. Documentary lends itself, I think, in a bigger way for TV. So documentary cinema is a much more challenging thing because it's very expensive to put a film in a cinema. The film I have here now is a Syrian love story. And in September we put it in the cinema in England, and we do a very careful campaign to get an audience for the film, and we're not kind of unrealistic with trying to put it into too many cinemas, and we're very targeted at trying to get the audience to come to the cinema by having me and the family do the Q&As and have a lot of press, and we're going to carefully craft a 2-week cinema run in the UK around selected cinemas up to the BBC screening. So all of the press of the cinema screenings will be maximised when it goes on television. So in a way we're using both, they're both supporting and helping each other. And I think we just have to be very targeted about who you're aiming your film at and not be unrealistic. It's a documentary about Syria. It's not going to get Harry Potter fans to come to the cinema to watch it. So there's no point being in those screens. You have to be in the right screens and think about the audience. There is a target audience when I'm making the film, and the target audience are usually ordinary people. In my mind, it's my friends in the north of England who are my target audience. That's just a creative thing. That's not cinema or TV. That's just who am I talking to with this film, in how I choose the characters, how I choose the story. You know, my films in the Middle East are not intellectual films about the history of the Arabic struggle. They're character-based portraits that somehow illuminate the struggles of the day-to-day life of struggles of people there. I'm doing that on purpose to get an audience that wouldn't normally engage in these areas to engage with the characters that I find who are somehow attractive, or maybe even like my friends in the north of England. In a funny kind of way, wherever I go in the world, I'm looking for my mates in the north of England. I made my graduation film at the National Film and Television School with my mates in the north. And one of them was in a relationship that was breaking down with his girlfriend, called Andy, my closest friend. In fact, Andy is the person that's always in my head when I'm thinking about who the target audience is. And he was invited to the premiere of the film in Sheffield. And so the film played, and I came to do the Q&A. And I saw him in the front row, and someone asked this question, and I said, well, actually, we can ask Andy ourselves because he's here. So I took the microphone to the audience and I said, Andy, how do you think? Did you engage with this film well? And he said, actually, it reminded me of the film you made about me 20 years ago. When I'm even looking for the characters and looking for the stories, obviously you talk to the BBC, but to be honest, I'm talking to my friends and I'm sort of sending them little bits to look at, saying, is it interesting? Is he interesting? Is it good? What do you think? And they go, it's fucking boring. And then, oh, yeah, it's good, it's good. So they're my gauge, not the execs in the BBC, my friends up north.